Bonjour, bonjour, guten Tag, wie geht's dir? I hope that you're absolutely wonderful, that you have a blessed day, regardless of where you may be found. Honestly, I'm so happy and glad to have you back on Etincelle. Etincelle, a show that you know by now. It's been 3 years and we keep on going. Actually, this year is going to be the 4th year. Oh my God, time is flying. My name is Gracia Susuzande, your host of Etincelle, and you know every single time we bring you new theme in order to talk and enlighten the public, enlighten our families, communities, and even the whole world. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Take a seat, and even if you need to go quickly to the bathroom, come back. Yeah, just do that. But I need you back with me in order to make this show work. All right, today's theme is going to be about the danger. Is our future in danger? Is our future in danger? And that's a major question mark, not just for myself, but also for you, for your children, I don't know, for your community, for the people around you, for yourself. Is the future in danger? And we are going to highlight all the things that is going around the world, all the things that is making the future a little bit septic. Is it really? Should we continue? Should we keep on going? Should I stop hoping that everything is going to be okay? And these are all the questions we are going to try to answer. And if you feel like you want to say a word, you want to call, honestly, my number is going to be shown on the screen, and I can even give it right now, 079 46 206 506. So please do phone to text. I don't know, if you feel like you want to jump in, do feel free. I'm going to give you a short little break for you to do all the bits and pieces, come back to us in order to make this show going. See you soon. All right, so we are back, and it's time to get to the business. Why this theme? And I've been having a lot of conversation with people around me. Honestly, it was quite scary. It's quite scary. Why? Because the future is something that we hope for. We hope for the future. We hope for the future because there's so many things that we want to do. When you're growing up, you see your parents. One day you want to become a parent. When you see what's it called, businesses, music happening, you're like, no, maybe I want to be a musician, or I want to be an architect. I want to build, I want to create, I want to expand. And these are all the wishes really that we as human, we want to achieve in our life, and it's very, very, very crucial for us anyway. And we can see the world really changing every single step along the way. It is evolving, is moving. The old trains are not the new trains now. You have some the robots that literally are coming through, and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? And it's kind of scary, but at the same time, you're like, oh my God, should I still continue to engage myself, to believe that everything is going to be okay? Question mark. And it's not just the subject doesn't even stop there. It actually keeps on evolving, because you really wonder whether you should trust. So the big words when it comes to the danger of the future is hope. Yes, it's love. Love, it seems like love is fading. Love is not there no more, not just between us, me and you, but also just with the world, really, to be kind towards your neighbor. It seems like it's not happening anymore. People are quick to kill, quick to throw shade, quick to destroy, quick to do the wrong things instead of the right things. Apart from that, hope, we're losing hope. We're losing hope in many things, and then we start mainly trusting the wrong things instead of the right things. Meaning, I rather trust a machine than to trust my sister or to trust my brother. And it is really important for us to highlight this. Apart from that, I went a little bit deeper on the subject, and I came to realize that this world has not just been created by one person. It started like when you according to the biblical side, when you look towards it, you see that the man has been created, the woman has been created, and God said, well, be blessed. All right, this is in an aspect of the Bible. All right, so when you go to different kinds of religion, it says different kinds of things, but at the end of the day, it's like family begins as soon as a child is born. So now the question that has been asked lately is, and then I even saw this on BBC, is like, females, mothers around the world do not want to have children anymore. And that is scary, because the gift that's been, you know, given to the men and to the woman, you know, in order to expand, is the child. So now it's like fear has really taken place. It has started to take place, not just in our everyday life, but, you know, in our mind, and to even start questioning our future. Should I have a child? Should I really continue to expand my family? So it started with having maybe, like, I don't know, 8 children, to the point of like it start reducing slowly but surely, and you start asking yourself, I want to have a life as well. You know, I want to be okay as well. And life is becoming difficult. Life is becoming expensive. Life is becoming really, really, really stressful in the mind. We have a lot of children, not even children, let's not even talk about it, but we have a lot of parents who are suffering from mental health. Why? Because of what is happening around us. And honestly, it's quite scary. So we really want to touch and to talk about it. Please do jump in a conversation. I possibly maybe be able to call 1 or 2 people during this talk show in order to enlighten us when it comes to this subject. All right, so the first pictures I'm going to ask the regie to place right now is the first 3 pictures that I came across on the social media. Honestly, we have wars around that is really scaring the human beings, scaring people, and you know it is the war between Russia and Ukraine. Honestly, this it's still going, guys. It's still going, and then a lot of people flee. A lot of people have lost their life through this war. Honestly, like on BBC News, it's keep on going, and then we want to understand, you know, and we not just want to understand, but we want it to end in order for peace to come in. This is another picture from the Goma. Honestly, in Congo DRC, Goma side, where like you know, wars are still keep on going. The civil war, trying to, you know, to take over the territory, and it's really scary. Unfortunately, there's no pity for any of this country, you know, to keep things at ease and to really put things to rest. But you know, blood is still sharing. You know, we have another one where we even can see this little baby walking around who don't even know exactly what's happening around. But yeah, war is still going. We have the United Nations war soldiers who are trying to, you know, to keep things in peace, but unfortunately there's a lot of hidden agenda behind it. And then this is just to say that whenever you see, you know, weapon put up, raised up, you're scared about your future, you're scared about yourself, you don't know what to do. And there's a lot of females who have seen, you know, the mother being raped right in front of them. You've seen their father being killed right in front of their eyes, and themselves probably being cut, you know, the foot be cut or hands be cut, or something taken away from them. And honestly, it's something that they are scared of and we are scared of. So we wonder, what is the future, you know, holding for us children, and even the ones who are just being born here right now in the 21st century? Please write down, comment with me, talk to me. I want to hear your opinion when it comes to this subject. Is the future, our future, in danger? Can we still hope? Can we still make it work? Can we still, you know, can we still create? Can we still have this family that we're hoping for? And it's really, really, really important. So the next other pictures that I'm going to ask is Africa. I mean, I'm mentioning everything, every single subject, because this topic is quite large. It's not just small. So I'm having this large topic in order for us to keep on breaking it as we go along in the month of June. Please, Keith, you can give me the first picture, which is Africa. We have um, we have all this what's it called? The scientific project that is still happening in Africa, and we still wonder, can we trust? Can we trust all this? What's it called? This project, the science that has been, placed. Can we trust the foreigners who are coming to Africa in order to make Africa work and to help Africa? Can we trust it? And then there's a lot of question when it comes to this subject. And then I really wanted to kind of mention it because my thoughts was really on that. So I'm gonna give a short little break in order for you, to think about that. Come back to me, and so we can continue. Thank you so much. All right, so we are back. We are back, and once more is to talk about this major subject: is our future in danger? Is our future in danger? And I believe the first point that I will begin is love, l'amour, and it is very important, very crucial to touch this subject, because love doesn't just touch you and your neighbor, but it also touches the community. It does touch what's it called, the world. We cannot go forward we cannot go forward and even emerge with each other, create things in order to build something when there's no love. Because when there's no love, there's definitely no trust. When there's no trust, there's no way you can do anything. When there's no trust, because you just end up killing and destroy around you, and for your own sake. And then when it's your own sake, meaning there is selfishness. And when it's selfishness, honestly, there's nothing left, because it's also just going to be bitterness all around. So love, if we need to start going back just a little bit, couple years ago, because right now we are in the 21st century, but we're talking about the 19th, the 80th, the 70th, all this time before. What was how life used to look like, how human being used to pull up with each other and create things around them. And I believe I had this conversation with someone who told me, hey, Cracia, but it's true that things are changing, but if you actually go back in the past, and even before thinking about having children, the first thing that comes in mind is basically you loving this person and this person loving you back. All right? Before you even think, oh, I want to have my family or whatsoever, it's just, first of all, this man loves you and you love this man. And then the child that comes after is basically the fruit of your love. It's the fruit of your union. So now, if love is not at first, if love is not placed at first, because you see arranged marriages all around, right? You see all these things that's happening around, which is completely sad. And the range, actually, when you have to be forced to marry your cousin, for example, forced to do something that you don't want to do. For example, like one of the shows I presented last time, I presented you this lady who kept on being raped by her father, and then by her father-in-law, and then by her boyfriend. It kept on going to the point where it was quite difficult for her to keep on going, but she still held on to this hope that everything is going to be okay. And so now today she is someone who's helping women all around who are, you know, going through arranged marriages and so forth. But even this case was that back then. But now we're talking about love here, whereby it's about a men and the females getting married and really having this child, and then this child in his turn also going to have, you know, a wife and so forth. And this is what you called being fruitful, right? Keep on multiplying and keep on increasing in a community and in nations and in countries and so forth. So, and this is how you see cities being built, because it's not just, it wasn't built just by one person, but built by several people coming together, united in order to make this work. Now, that's obviously because it began with love. It began with kindness. It began with, you know, be able to support one another. And it seems like this has faded away as time is going. It seems like selfishness start taking place in our lives. Now, for those who lives in Africa, in villages, it's complete. I mean, their lives are completely different from the ones who lives in the city, because it seems like the life in the city is fast-paced, and in the villages or even in dans les provinces, for example, like the life is quite different, you know. So now, would you say that love exists more into, you know, the villages, countryside, than in the city? Question mark. And that is for you to answer. Please do interact with me as much as you can. And so apart from that, we see children being born anyway. But what happened is that it seems like the more time is passing by, fear has also taken place. Apart from the fact that love is disappearing, slowly but surely, fear is rising. Fear is rising in families. Fear is rising in mentality. Fear is rising in societies. Fear is rising in countries and so forth. Honestly, like in companies and so forth. It's like you're more, and because you're so fearful, you rather protect yourself. Because you're so fearful, you rather kill and keep yourself. Because you're so fearful, you want to preserve what is yours, which is not bad. But at the end of the day, if you keep on living in fear, honestly, what can you build? What can you hope for? If your mentality is all about being fearful because, you know, because of the future and because of everything that's happening, how can you even, the question is, how can you even get married? Because if you're fearful of getting married, well, you'll never do it. If you're so fearful that, you know, that you'll probably end up getting divorced, then you'll probably never step into marriage in the first place. If you're fearful of your company, you know, crumbling, then you'll never build it in the first place, right? So now, the hope in human beings has been somehow been, what is the word? I could say it's disappearing to the point whereby machines are taking our trust. You know, we rather call Google for us, you know, to show us the way, to indicate us what to do. I mean, there's not long ago, there was this man who wanted to plan, you know, who made a plan to kill someone. And it was actually all over the news, whereby he asked Google, what is the best way to cover the murderer? And Google actually gave it all. So now this is why somehow the internet, even Google, has been modified once more, because it seems like we trust the machine, we trust the internet, we trust other things than to really trust the human being. Fear has taken over our minds so much that we don't want to, we don't want to trust anymore. We don't want to trust anymore. To the point where even there is atheists. Hope is gone. More and more people are losing their hope in their religion, losing their hope in their families. Family are being broken, destroyed every single day. It's like whenever a sister or brother is speaking, you wonder whether this person is actually telling the truth. Whenever your dad is saying something, you wonder, is my dad telling the truth or is he thinking about himself? You know, and that is really sad, because if I cannot trust my mom, then who else can I trust? If I cannot trust my boss, why am I working for her or for him? If I cannot trust the doctors who are doing the surgery on me right now, why shall I put myself forward, you know, in order to be better when it comes to my health? If I cannot, trust my child, then I will never be able to leave my child to go to school, to go to university, you know, to handle my business, or even to leave my child alone at home. Although, like, you know, my child is old enough to take care of himself, but I won't be able to let her even, you know, bring me food or to buy me food. Why? Because fear has taken over. Fear has taken over, and I really wanted to bring this subject. Why? Because we need to come to the point of realizing that fear is destroying instead of building. Fear is not bringing us to the point of really being united. Fear is breaking us. Fear is taking over our creativity. Fear is taking over our love for each other. Fear is a major weapon that can easily, is basically destroy in order to win. And this is the weapon of the enemy. I don't want to be too biblical or whatsoever, but it's really to make you understand that you can come from somewhere and go somewhere, but if there is fear from the get-go, there's nothing you can do, and you won't be able to go anywhere. You won't be able to progress. You won't be able to succeed. You won't be able to achieve, but you won't be able to do anything if fear is in front of your door. There's no way where you won't be able to open that door in the first place. You want to become an entrepreneur, a football player, I don't know, whatsoever you have, you know, in mind, that dream that you want to accomplish. There is no way you won't be able to do it if fear is in front of you, if fear is living in you, if fear really is taking over. And I have mentioned all this other, the civil wars that's going around. And I really wanted to I really want to pull our ministers, leaders around the world, the ones who are fighting just for the minerals, the ones who are fighting just for their own selfish, selfish gain. Do not forget, there are people who are involved in this. We have families that are involved in this. What about the future run? What is happening to tomorrow? Because we were in the past, we're right now in the present, but there is a future. And for us to change the future, we need to start changing the present. Changing the present. Trauma has taken over families around the world. Etincelle is not just for our local community. Etincelle is here in your household as we are talking, also for, you know, the world, honestly. And I pray, I hope There's somebody, somewhere, maybe even China. There's a president or a minister that's, going to stumble into this show today in order to make you understand that you can try to destroy or this and that, but at the end of the day, our future is very important. What is the goal? What is our goal? Now, if I can have the pictures that I saw on the internet. So the first one is Africa. Africa, as I mentioned earlier, right? Africa. And this is very important because the UN system plays a crucial role in coordinating assistance of all kinds, all right? To help Africa, if it is even helping, to help Africa to help itself from promoting and developing the democratic institution. And so it's very important to understand that to the establishment of peace between warring nations, the UN is presenting on the ground, supporting economic and social development and the promotion and protection of human rights. And this is very important to understand that. Yeah. The next one is aging. It seems like aging is a problem as well in this day and age. Aging. It seems like the le taux of of aging is keep on increasing. The world is looking more old apparently. Is it something to worry about right now? It seems like, the world population is aging. Virtually every country in the world is experimenting growth in a number of proportion and older person in their population, right? So the number of an older person and those at age of 60 years over has increased tremendously in recent years in most countries and region, and that growth is projected and accelerating in coming decades. We have the AIDS, HIV, which is something to also worry about. It seems like the number of HIV, it keeps on increasing. It keeps on increasing, guys. Listen, the subject, the one I'm really talking about right now, are we, worrying about our future? Should we worry about our future? It's really something to take on board. So please, the next picture, AIDS. All right, new HIV infection has, falling by 35, and this keeps on increasing. And so now, what can we do, to fix this situation? When AIDS keeps on killing, it seems like, we are so fearful that we don't want to die alone. We are so fearful that we don't want to keep this disease, this illnesses for ourselves. We keep on spreading it in a way or another towards children, parents, men, females. It's like we don't even care anymore. AIDS, it keeps on going, keep on expanding. Please, can we be mindful of this disease this illness that it keeps on killing the population? We have atomic energy. The more than 30 countries worldwide are operating 444 nuclear reaction for electricity generation, and 66 new nuclear plants are under construction. 13 countries relied on nuclear energy to supply at least 1/4 in their total electricity. Please, next picture. Yeah, if you can keep up the pictures, just to show you that this is not something to take lightly, to take lightly. Next, after the A's, we have the atomic energy. After the atomic energy, we do have the big data of the sustainable development. And then I can keep on reading, but it's really for us to understand. As much as I read, you need to see what is really happening around the world. We have the next one, we have child and youth safety. We need to understand that the future is the youth, the future is our children. And rising internet connecting has the the potential to transform children and young people's life for better, yes, but also make them vulnerable, please, vulnerable and sexual abuse. Is to understand that the internet can maybe connect, but the internet can also kill. All right, can open the eyes of the children to the point whereby exposing them for sexual abuse and so forth. And there is a major risk. Can you please continue with the pictures on the child and the youth safety, please? All right. Right. So as you can tell, there are some youth. I didn't want you just to make it seems like it's just for African, because it's not. The youth that I'm talking about is really worldwide. Is really worldwide, and it's for us to really understand that the youth are important. Please, let's take care of our youth in order to make things better for them. And then we have children. The next picture. The next picture is every child has the right to health. Every child in the world has the right to health, education, protection, in our societies and so forth around the world. So now if like I said, if education is being taken away, because it seems like they are, the leaders of the world are taking away humans and replacing human teaching to what's it called, to the internet, to the social media teaching. How can we pass around the knowledge of what we have to the next one? All right, it's very important to understand that. The next one, we have the climate change. Climate change. Should we continue to worry? And that is really the question that I did ask at the beginning, is that should we worry about our future? Should we worry about our future as the climate keep on changing? One of the major challenges that the world has, one of the major challenges that we keep on facing every single day without you even knowing or even acknowledging, is the climate change. From shifting weathers, partner, and also the food production, all these things, it is affecting our world. It is affecting our future. Should we worry? You should worry. Should we worry? No, maybe. What is your answer? To rising sea that is killing people, the ones that are living in islands and so forth. We've seen it, Katrina. We've seen it, and all these other places whereby there is. I believe it was 2 years ago. There was a major fire in Australia. That's a climate change as well. The climate rise up so high that it start burning trees and so forth. And the ones who live in Australia, around the area, they had to flee. They had to take all their stuff. I have one person in particular, my dad, what's it called, Dr. Christian Bila, who, you know, the fire started around where where he lives at the present moment, and he was fearful, wanted to understand, should I take my stuff, should I take my clothing with me, what should I do? And these are things to really consider. Please, next picture we have the decolonization, all right, the wave of this, which changes the face of the planet. And it's really is to understand that things are changing. We have the immigration. People are fleeing from one country to the other because they are not in peace, because they can't seem to keep on going forward and keep on living this way. So now obviously, if it was you living in a country where you're not okay, you will not stay there. You will obviously want to go from that country to another country in order to secure the future of your children, especially if you have one. And even if it's not the case, it will be the future for yourself. Yeah. We have, after this, we have the democracy. Democracy. It's a universally recognized ideal, and is one of the core values and principles, you know, in the world. But at the end of the day, it seems like some countries are still under pressure. It seems like some countries are still not free. It seems like some countries are still, you know, they're still colonized, and then they can't seem to do things by themselves. The next one, we have the discernment. You know, it seems like people, or not just people, but we're so fearful to the point of you know, exchanging our money for weapon. You know, exchanging our money for weapon. Why? Because we want to protect ourselves. And we do see this in America, whereby there are, you know, children at age of, I don't know, 10, 12, who can go, you know, save their money and go and buy weapon. So that is the next picture with the weapons, whereby I believe that even this artist, I completely forgot his name right now, who end up even, what's it called, Lil Wayne had a testimony, you know, whereby he mentioned that he shot himself. Why? You know, because he had a weapon. And in that incident, you may say, he shot himself, and then there was this policeman who took him to the hospital. So now, is this okay for us to have children at the age of 12 or even younger, or even, you know, above 14, 15, 16, 17, to hold a gun in order to protect themselves? No. No, of course not. Next picture, please. We have the poverty. Keep on rising, poverty. How can we make it better? How can we shift things? I know that in life we have balance. You know, we need to balance some things. And sometimes, yes, there's poverty, and sometimes, yeah, there is the rich side. But between them two, there needs to be a bridge, what we call love. But it seems like selfishness is taking over our mind to the point whereby the rich keep on getting richer, and the poor, they keep on getting poor. Can we help? Can we bridge? Can we go on the other side and actually show our hands to those who needs it? And I believe there's a lot of people are doing it, but let's keep on going on this field. We have food issues. We have gender equality issues. We have health issues. We have the human rights issues. And I'm just mentioning these titles, and so that the picture can, you know, keep on going as I'm talking. We have the human rights, as I said. We have the international law and justice. We have the immigrations issues. We have the oceans and law of the seas issues. We do have peace and security issues. All these problems are the problems that we need to talk about in order to bring solutions. There are the populations that it keeps on, overtaking. And I heard not long ago that apparently the system, there are certain countries who are trying to reduce the population in order to control. What do you say? What do you think of this? We have refugees, and also we have problems when it comes to water, and also the youth, as I mentioned earlier. Now, all these things are real issues and real problems that the world is facing every single day, and we need to understand that if we don't do anything, then our future cannot, maybe not, évoile l'échec, as French said. So now, I've mentioned all these problems, and I've mentioned all this situation. I've mentioned all this what's it called? I've mentioned the past, I've mentioned the present, and I also kind of showed you also like the future-ish, right? Despite of everything that I've said to you, I believe that there is a nation around the world who are still hoping. There is a family out there who's still hoping. There is a child out there who is still hoping. And I really wanted to bring this up because fear would not do you any good. Fear would not make you achieve your goals. Fear will not bring you to the point of actually you building a family and so forth. And then when I'm talking about future, I see family. Because from the family, you can develop a community. And from the community, you can develop and create a city. From a city to a country, from country to, and so many more. Like, listen, you can expand, and we've seen it in history. Let's remove fear out of our mind, trauma out of our mind, all these things, selfishness out of our mind, and trying to understand that we're here for a reason. You are here for a reason. If your mom and dad never came to merge and create you, well, you wouldn't be here. If they decided not to have a child, you wouldn't be here. I believe there is this person that I came across and who told me and said, despite of how you appeared in this world, whether it was through rape, whether it was through rejection, whether it was through love, whether it was through, I don't know, all kinds of reasons that has made you be who you are, and even for you to be, alive, it doesn't even matter. Because if you need to focus on all this points that I just mentioned just now, well, you won't achieve anything. But the fact that you are here right now, the fact that you live, the fact that you can think, the fact that you can create, I beg you, take away fear. Because fear will only create fear. All right? So let's create a better future for us, for you, for me, for what we really hoping for. Let's not break what this hope can achieve. All right? Everything starts with hope. Everything begins with trust. Everything can be created when there is love and when there is when you care. But when you remove everything that's positive, honestly, all you will see is dryness. All you will see is bitterness. All you will see is no future. All right? No future at all. And so this is really the main points that I wanted to bring you in order to make you realize that despite of what the community or even the big bosses around the world, the ones who are directing this world are doing, let's not focus on that, but focus on how to make the future work. And we can only achieve that when fear is removed, when selfishness is removed, when all this bad mentality is removed. But when you keep on feeding positive into positive, you can only achieve positivity. Can we worry about future? You may worry, but don't stay there. Don't remain in the worriness. Remove worriness. Yes, you can think about it, you can cry about it, but don't stay there. All right? Because it's possible to come from somewhere and to definitely go somewhere. There's so much I really wanted to say, and I believe that I will discuss this with more guests on the show on this month of June, and I hope that you are ready. Can we worry about our future when it comes to music? Should we worry about our future when it comes to our enterprise? Should we worry? Can we worry about our future when it comes to our children? Can we? Should we? And this is a question mark in this month of June. Stay tuned with me. This was the show just to present to you a bigger picture of what we are going to be talking about in this month of June. And so please come back to us next week, Monday at 8 p.m. with myself and possibly a guest. And so please share the show to someone who needs it, or someone who wants to add a plus, and someone who wants to come on the show, someone who wants to, to share a word. Why not? It was me, Gracia Susuzande, your host of Etincelle, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care. Before we go, shout out to Apostle Mylene Mudiai, who is the sponsor of Etincelle. Shout out to Coralie and Patrick Chumke for being at the media of the show. Shout out to the pastor Lord Lombo for supporting from far. Shout out to Chinos B, le sosie de Inos B, for always supporting, and there's so many people. Oh my God. Yes, next time I'm gonna shout out even more. So, but thank you so much for, Ellen Daldine for supporting also Etincelle and so many people. Honestly, you guys are the stars. And sometimes I forget to shout out, but it's okay. Next time. Take care, and I'll see you soon.